Maersk cutting at least 10,000 jobs as shipping boom unravels. Reuters. Shipping Group AP. Maersk reported a steep drop in third-quarter profit and revenue on Friday and said it would cut at least 10,000 jobs in the face of overcapacity, rising costs and weaker prices, sending its shares tumbling. Maersk, which controls about 1/6 of global container trade, transporting goods for a host of retailers and consumer goods companies such as Walmart and Nike, flagged a steeper downturn in demand than analysts and investors had expected. The new normal we are now headed into is one of more subdued macroeconomic outlook, and thus soft volume demands for the coming years, prices back in line with historical levels, inflationary pressure on our cost base, especially from energy cost, and also increased geopolitical uncertainty, CEO V. Vincent Clerc said on an investor call. Below are your comments. Overexuberant demand as the economy reopened led to a whopping growth in shipping and resulted in Retailers and manufacturers have been waiting for 1 to 2 years for some products to be delivered. Now that they have finally arrived, some retailers are overstocked and selling at very low prices to get rid of stuff, and they are not reordering. Electric cars are piling up on dealerships and constructio. Finally, real fundamental signals demand is, about time, being crushed. Now, when my coffee goes back to $5 a pound, and a Honda Civic back to $25,000, we'll be set. The economy is headed for a cliff. We have been living beyond our means for decades through massive debt expansion and the ephemeral, wealth effect of artificially inflated asset prices. The sustainable level for any economy is that which can be supported by earned income alone. No stimulus from. Next news. Sam Bankman-Fried found guilty on all 7 counts. TechCrunch. Sam Bankman-Fried, the co-founder and former CEO of crypto exchange FTX and trading firm Alameda Research, has been found guilty on all 7 counts related to fraud and money laundering. The defendant is charged with a wide-ranging scheme to misappropriate billions of dollars of customer funds deposited with FTX and mislead investors and lenders to FTX and to Alameda Research, a release from the U.S. Attorney's Office at the Southern District of New York stated. The decision was handed down on Thursday, following a 5-week trial that dug deep into how one of the biggest crypto exchanges and its sister trading company collapsed about a year ago. Below are your comments. This story is much bigger than face value. The institutions use these tokens to cheat investors in the stock market also. Hopefully they will investigate into this as well, seeing that some of these tokens were supposedly backed 1-to-1 with the stock, and the stock investors were cheated also. I think 30 to 40 years in a federal prison would be appropriate, because, like Bernie Madoff, he has destroyed the financial stability of many people who may never recover from their losses. The results of the environment he grew up in. His parents should be ashamed, but we all know they are not. Given his political donations, it is surprising he was charged, and he is still likely to get kid glove treatment on sentencing, parole, etc. What is not really clear is the involvement of the parents. The father was alleged to be a paid consultant, advisor to the son regarding FTX matters. It's hard to believe that the father wouldn't have knowledge of the financial situation of FTX since both parents were living at son's compo. Next news. Breaking down the confusing new rules about required withdrawals from retirement accounts. Barron's, C. Ohm. A confusing tax requirement has grown even more so this year, as a new age for required minimum distributions, or RMDs, from retirement accounts takes effect. Many older adults don't know they must begin withdrawing money from their retirement accounts in the early 70s and paying income taxes on that money. It's the government's way of finally getting a piece of retirement savings that have grown tax-deferred for decades. Below are your comments. I am an old man. People have somewhere between $1,000 and $10 million in an account, and you are required to take out a percentage. What is the problem? Could you have done something 20 years ago to minimize? I still have yet to meet anyone who takes an RMD and is falling apart. I wish I would not have put my savings in a pre-tax. I tell my kids contribute after tax. Taxes alwa. Ys go up. I'm thinking we seniors should topple statues, burn buildings and riot in the streets to have RMDs revoked by this administration, the same way they want to forgive student loans. Censor bot won't let me complain about the link which goes nowhere. The rise in inflation matches perfectly with the beginning of the baby boomer retirement generation. The government knows large sums of money saved by boomers for retirement must be taken and taxed. RLY. People who spend or get large sums of money at one time are less sensitive to the additional circa. Next news. UAW gears up to organize at Toyota, other non-union automakers. Reuters. Detroit, Washington. Reuters. The United Auto Workers on Thursday signaled the next step in the union's campaign to capitalize on its success in bargaining with the Detroit Three, launching organizing drives at Toyota, Tesla and other non-union U.S. auto factories. UAW President Shawn Fain began his video comments on the Stellantis contract with an appeal to workers at Toyota, which on Wednesday offered pay and benefit increases after the Detroit 3 contract talks concluded. They could have just as easily raised wages a month ago or a year ago, Fain said of Toyota. Below are your comments. I'm a consumer. I wish I could organize consumers to get a good price. The UAW, the dealerships, the advertising expenses, and the costs of people suing automakers and wires who advertise that a simple fender bender can get you a fortune, all add up to cars and NCE being expensive. They should resist at all costs, as they will be ruined by the increased union demands and lack of productivity from the now unionized workers who will find it almost impossible to be fired. Yes, the big three union employees won some big concessions from management. But how long will these companies be around? I hope the employees at the manufacturers think long and hard about unionizing. Toyotas are made in right-to-work states. Union has long outlived its economic roles of early industrialization. Next news. 8 reasons annuities might actually be a bad investment for you. Smart asset. You pay $1 million up front and receive $5,000 a month after retiring. Simple, right? Unfortunately, annuities are rife with complexities that can prevent a clear understanding of their benefits and potential pitfalls. This insurance product is often considered a safe investment, but annuities have their own risks. Here's why they might be a bad investment. The post 8 reasons annuities might be a bad investment for you appeared first on Smart Reads by Smart Asset. Below are your comments. Finally, I see here someone financially savvy, write the real truth about annuity. They are only good for some with zero financial knowledge, who want to see just the dollar figures thrown at them and if that makes them comfortable. Annuity buyers are same as those who answer a car salesman's question. Here's my take on annuities. If they were no good, then neither is Social Security, which is an annuity. I have an annuity IRA, purchased by rolling over about 20% of my IRA funds at that time. The past 2 years, my retirement funds have stagnated due to current economic conditions. However, to summarize, annuities don't do it. First off, I agree that annuities are usually bad investments. But it looks like financial advisors hate them because they can't get a percentage of that money once it's locked up in one. Next news. Google's plan to build 15,000 homes for the San Francisco Bay project fizzles out. Engadget. Google has ended its agreement with real estate developer Landlease for its San Francisco Bay project, effectively subleaping its plans to build a campus with thousands of homes for employees and Loca LS. Below are your comments. We grew up in the South Bay, the peninsula, the region south of San Francisco. We fled the area, selling all our businesses and real estate holdings in 2018. If people think the declining quality of life was a San Francisco issue, this would be a mistake. There is astonishingly poor decision. Build buildings that can easily be converted from commercial to residencia and vice versa. For example, bathrooms could be modular, borrowing technology from trailers, motorhomes. Thought would have to be given to how the Boodling's main plumbing system is designed. Apartments would have to be If Google was really smart, they would leave CA. Fizzles out. Code for 2019 Trump mortgage rates 2.5%, today 8% under Bidenomics. Office space for 20,000 but only 4,000 apartments are planned for the San Jose parcels. There are virtually zero housing units available in the Bay Area between the 280 and 680 freeways. Are people making less than 100% median income, but giant Google wants to bring another 20,000? Next news. I have $250,000 in an IRA and will receive $3,000 monthly from Social Security. Can I retire in 5 years? At 70? Smart Asset. If you're in your mid-60s and still working, it may be time to start seriously planning for retirement. NT. That doesn't mean you need to leave work immediately, but retirement is likely on the horizon. Imagine you're 65 years old, you have $250,000 in an IRA and expect to receive $3,000 per month from Social Security. Opening square bracket ellipsis closing square bracket. The post: I have $250,000 in an IRA and will receive $3,000 monthly from Social Security. Can I retire in 5 years at 70? Appeared first on Smart Reads by Smart Asset. Below are your comments. Work out a budget, and get a projection of your Social Security benefit, and know that a portion of that will be taxed at either 50% or 85%. That is not the tax rate on the benefit, but the amount of the benefit that will be taxed at your effective tax rate, probably around 10 to 15%. And at age 70. I didn't read the article, but I am guessing the answer is to consult a financial advisor. Bottom line. I wasted my time reading this. You are 70. If not now, when? Yes or no? To make it a yes, you need to make life-changing decisions and learn to live with $2,500 per month from now on. $250,000 in 401k may get you $1,000 per month on a conservative 5% return. In 5 years, inflation would make your $3,000 SS income worth only $2,500 in buying power. Keep the 401k return of $1. Next news. Ask an advisor. I have $1 million and want it to work for me. How do I maximize passive income and minimize taxes? Smart Asset. I have $1 million and I want to put it to work for me. Where can I put it to make the most amount of passive income from it? Also, how can I minimize taxes on that to be able to keep more of that money? Andrea, while today's high interest rate environment has the post: ask an advisor. I have $1 million and want it to work for me. How do I maximize passive income and minimize taxes? Appeared first on Smart Reads by Smart Asset. Below are your comments. I read this expecting actual answers. Anyone with $1 million or more already knows about money markets, CDs, muni, stocks and bonds. A real answer would have been to explore some specific ideas like, are REITs good for you at this time in the economic cycle? Or will interest rates remain inverted? First mistake you're asking an advisor: did you use advisor to help you make your $1 million? If you answer no, I rest my case. The article didn't define qualified dividends and didn't elaborate that equities may be taxed at irregular or capital gains rate depending on holding period. Infomercial. Stay far, far away. It's really easy, just continue to pay them 1 to 2% and they will tell you they can and time will tell you just wasted a lot of dollar. Next news. Alaska Airlines sued over attempt by off-duty pilot to shut down engines. Reuters. 3 passengers who were aboard an Alaska Airlines jet when an off-duty pilot riding in the bleep P-8 jump seat allegedly tried to disable the plane's engines sued the Seattle-based carrier on Thursday, accusing it of breaching its duty to ensure flight safety. The lawsuit, which also names Horizon Air as a defendant, stems from an in-flight emergency declared by the crew of Alaska Airlines Flight 2059 over the Pacific Northwest while the aircraft was en route from Everett, Washington, to San Francisco, on October 22. The Alaska Airlines flight was operated by the group's regional subsidiary Horizon Air. Below are your comments. Damages for psychological injury, physical pain and suffering among others. Lizard lawyers are a disgrace. Alaska Airlines is one airline I'll never fly. I just get bad vibes from it, judging from past incidents and of course that crash in 90s. I've flown Alaska Airlines one time. And it was a horrible experience. So now the ambulance, plane chasers want to cash in. 3 are the only ones suing this carless airline that obviously breached security measures regarding Flight Crew 11 who belongs and who does not belong. This is truly sick. The nuts among us. Next news. Billionaire Amazon founder Jeff Bezos moves to Florida, where his parents live. And capital gains are not taxed. Fortune. The world's third richest person is leaving Washington, home to a new statewide levy on asset dispo sales after a legal challenge failed in court this year. Below are your comments. John Kerry was an advocate for increasing taxes on the rich. When he got his sailboat built, he got it built in rather than Massachusetts because the tax was lower to build the boat there, lol. Sure, when a rich dem moves to Florida, it's acceptable to say to move closer to his parents, no questions sked. When a Republican does it, his or her entire life is questioned and how they got the wealth and how much they will save in taxes and how much the government will lose in taxes. Like Trump saw. They keep Amazon for now. What a horrible decision to implement the capital gains tax. Whatever the politicians in Washington state thought they were going to make just become dramatical. Why less with Bezos' move? He will not be the last to uproot his wealth and move to a tax-friendly state. Excise tax. Lol. And Oregon's business activity tax isn't a sales tax either. These blue states are constantly scheming to steal more from the masses than lie about their methods. Next news. The states with the lowest and highest average monthly retirement income. Smart asset. Average retirement income varies widely across the U.S. In the state with the highest income retirees, the average retired household brings in more than See as much in the state with the lowest retirement income figures. Differences are due to local variations in wages and salaries, cost of living, tax rules, the inside NCE of pension plans. The post "What is the average monthly retirement income in every state?" appeared first on SmartReads by SmartAsset. Below are your comments. It appears that government retirement is boosting Washington, D.C., Maryland and Virginia to the top of the list. Of course, some states have lower costs of living and/or lower taxes. Even though Maryland is the second highest retirement income, retirees often move to Delaware or other states with lower tax rates, even though those taxes insured through education, etc. That Maryland has the highest or near highs. So much for government employees being servants of the people, eh? It seems to be quite the opposite. Republican states don't seem to be doing very well. I don't wonder why. Since when did DC become a state? Lol. Next news. Gen Z could wave goodbye to resumes because most companies have turned to S-bleep-based recruitment and find it more effective, research shows. Fortune. It might not be long until resume are a thing of the past because most bosses are favoring S-bleep-ba. Said hiring and reporting big results. Below are your comments. We use resumes to see job history and length. The record is 21 different jobs in 10 years. Never going to hire a person that changes jobs 1 to 2 times a year. I use the resume to determine how long someone stays at a job. I also will check their references and their social media, a deep dive into social media. We will not interview someone who hops jobs every 6 months. It's a waste of time to train them and ultimately they are a drain. Their S-bleep-ar. The uptick in S-bleep-based hiring comes as degrees have slidden down the priority list for employers. Slidden? Applying for jobs the past month, 100% still ask to upload a resume. And this will be awfully challenging for Gen Z who, just starting to enter the workforce, have no S-bleep at all yet. Next news. Hedge fund executive's sudden death exposes a firm deep in trouble. Bloomberg. The Bon Ami was flowing inside the Great Banking Hall in Toronto as the city's hedge fund barons arrived to toast their success and themselves. Most read from Bloomberg Intuit is closing personal fi. Nance app Mint shifts users to Credit Karma. Immigrants are leaving Canada at faster pace, studies show. S&P 500 rises almost 2%. Apple down in late hours. Markets wrap Israel latest. Troops encircle Gaza City as death toll climbs. Jamie Dimon warns Texas to stop pushing anti-business laws among. Below are your comments. Where there's lying, lack of true equity or compliance with hedge funds trading small-cap stocks, you will always find Doug Sifu of Virtue and/or Ken Griffin of Citadel. Top hedge fund dog died, astronomical losses discovered? Authorities unable to say how he died? Something just doesn't sound right. Please wait a moment. Vampires of the financial world. Rich people lost some play money. Just wait till America learns it's Obama's third term. Next news. Yellen defends U.S. debt policy after Druckenmiller rebuke. Bloomberg. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen disputed billionaire investor Stan Druckenmiller's assertion her department had made the biggest blunder in history by not taking advantage of near-zero interest rates to sell more longer-term bonds. Most read from Bloomberg. Amazon's Jeff Bezos announces Mo. Veta Miami from Seattle. Sam Bankman-Fried convicted of fraud in stunning FTX crash. Hedge fund executee V's sudden death exposes a firm deep in trouble. Apple warns of sluggish holiday quarter. Below are your comments. It would have more merit had he said it a couple years ago. How about balancing the budget, running surpluses and actually reducing the amount of debt we have? I don't know for sure, but it does seem like what Stan is saying could be true. I mean, they could have had basically free debt back then, and now it's costing a heck of a lot more. Maybe blunder is correct. Did I read this right? Next news. 30-year mortgage rates fall again, sinking to an almost 3-week low. Investopedia. Rates fell for a second day in a row, dropping the 30-year average to its lowest point in almost 3 weeks. Averages for most other loan types also declined. Below are your comments. Boomers would buy and celebrate at these rates in the 1980s. No one wants your 2x overpriced house at 8%. Lol. 0.3 weeks. Still over 8%. Give it some time before it hits 9%. Who writes these hyperbolas headlines? Sync. Really? Please subscribe to my channel. And if you like it, please thumbs up.